Welcome, everybody, to the Advanced Selling Podcast, the longest-running sales training podcast in podcast history. My name is Bryan Neal.
My name is Bill Caskey.
We are here every week, as we have been for 18 and a half years. A long time. I had a conversation with a local podcaster, Bill, who's doing a great job. Great new show, local Indiana guy, but, talking about the number of episodes we have. And he's like, they didn't believe, he believed, but people don't believe we've been doing this long. Like, was that podcasting even a thing? And it was. It was. We're so glad you're here.
It's probably 18. I said 1,400 last week. I bet it was 1,800 because we lost some.
I know.
Well, what's 19 years times 50?
Yeah.
50 times 20 would be, wait a minute, 1,000?
Only 1,000?
Like more than that.
Yeah. We had a whole big stretch where we did 2 episodes a week.
Oh, that's true.
For about a year.
That's true.
Yeah. Anyway, we're just glad you're here. If we've had 10 episodes or 1,000, we're still the same Advanced Selling Podcast.
We've not improved.
Not one bit. The audio's improved marginally, just marginally. Other than that, same 2 dudes spewing info. Let me see. I want to get your take on one thing before we get to our topic, which our topic is really awesome today. We're going to give you a little sneak peek into the Insider program, so stay tuned for that so you can see what it's like. But what is your take, Bill, on dogs and cats being pushed around in strollers? Dogs and cats being pushed around in strollers in your neighborhood. And I know where you live. You know where I live. I guarantee you someone in your neighborhood, you know exactly who I'm talking about. I'm trying, you get chastised if people have any sniff that you're like not a dog person. Like, we have a dog, and my dog and I have a relationship, and it's fine. She's beautiful. Her name's Sydney. She's great, little Labradoodle thing, or German Lab. But I'm trying to understand now, if a dog is hurt or has an injury or has arthritis, totally different story.
It's at 0.5% of the time.
Thank you. Some of them, though, appear to be totally healthy dogs that get pushed around, or cats in a stroller. And I'm kind of thinking, remember Boy in the Bubble from the 70s?
Yeah.
I'm going to lose all the millennials now, but Google Boy in the Bubble from the 70s. John Travolta's first big breakthrough role. John Travolta's
I lose them
breakthrough
every
role.
week. Sorry.
Exactly. But it's basically, remember John Travolta had this autoimmune disease, and he had to live in this little clear box, and they pushed him around. It was really sad, actually, but very memorable.
I don't know about the whole dog thing. I know people love their pets, and
I don't get it, man.
Here's what I don't
get it.
I don't particularly buy into the, what's it called when you take a dog on the plane?
Service dog. Don't even get me started. Service dog. Don't get me started.
Although I'm sure there are cases, but I think people have taken advantage of that. And then you can't say anything because you'll be tagged as a loser.
Literally. Well, you just can't ask anymore. But you see something, and I'm like, okay, well, what? It just doesn't appear. It looks like this is a family dog that you just didn't want to, not take on the plane with you. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong.
But the whole cart,
the stroller thing, though.
Yeah,
and they make them, right?
And sometimes you see guys on motorcycles with dogs, and people on bikes with dogs and sitting in the basket. It's kind of cute. It's like, but I don't really have any.
It's just the stroller.
Plus or minus on that.
Because then you expect to see a baby. Like, I saw this young couple. I'm like, oh, cute new neighbor, baby. And there's a dog in there. And I'm like, baby. God, I thought it was going to be a baby. And I come up like, I was walking. I'm like,
coming in hot.
Yeah, a little bit, like old man now. Like, oh, like the little baby. It's okay. It's a dog. Never mind. It's a Shih Tzu.
It's a dog. I bet they're impressed with that.
Well, then they expect you to look at their dog like it's a baby. Like, oh, he so loves these walks. So yeah, he's okay. You can pet him. I'm like, I know, thanks. Anyway, sorry.
Well, there was a tweet I saw this morning. This guy, I don't believe much of what I see online, but I still am on. And the guy said, my wife is dealing with a stroke, and 2 days ago, which I always found fascinating, is the first place to go is Twitter when your wife has a stroke. Talk about the stroke. Right. Anyway, he was a legit guy, I think. And then he said at the very last sentence, he goes, the dogs and cats don't know what's going on. And I'm like, what? They don't. Yeah, they're probably asleep fine now. I don't think they worry and stress and eat ice cream when they're not sure. Whoa, wait a minute, our master went out here at 7 a.m. instead of 8.
That's funny.
People do.
They do. Okay,
so here's the topic today. Yeah. You've heard, if you've listened for any length of time, you've heard Bryan and I talk about the program we have called the Insider. And the Insider meets once per month for an hour and 15 minutes, typically on the first Friday of the month. And each time we meet, there is a topic that we go through. I pretty much handle those now. We'll go through a topic. Last month, it was how do you convert a higher percentage of your deals to business? And so if you're hovering at 20%, how do you get that thing to 50%? And I went through a step-by-step way that you can improve closing percentages. But the problem is with us promoting this is we typically just say, hey, join Insider, go to advancedselling.podcast/Insider. We're not really giving you much to sink your teeth into to say, oh, I want to be a part of that. So today we're going to do just that. We're going to spend a little bit of time on the topic for the August 1st Insider. We're going to talk about the impact of this topic that can have on you. And we're going to give you a couple of ideas that you can implement. Then if it's piqued your curiosity and interest, you can come to the program knowing full well what it is. And then we'll share the rest of our cadence and framework on Friday, August 1st. So that's our plan today. And we're going to give you value today, as we always do.
Oh, for sure. And I hope you see, like I said, a little bit of a look in that you're going to get these very, very practical, implementable things in Insider. Plus, you get a whole bunch of people who are in the same group, wired the same way, that all listen to the podcast usually, or I guess they wouldn't be there. And direct live coaching with Bill to implement these things. So
last month, there was a guy named Lou and a guy named Matt. Yep. And they were from totally different industries, totally different. Actually, they were in the same state, but it doesn't matter. They're totally different industries.
Yeah.
And Matt said something that Lou liked. And Lou said, oh, you know what Matt just said? I could take that and I could go do something with that. Mm. And it wasn't me. It was smart people surrounding a table talking about how to improve. And if you don't have that in your world, if you don't have a place to go, digital or otherwise, to go talk about how to improve your outcomes, then you're missing something. And whether it's Insider or something else, go join a program where you can get that. It's just too valuable to miss.
There's nothing better than being part of a group of like-minded people. There's nothing better than that. And that's what this is. So,
okay. So let's talk about the topic on August 1st. It's the topic of today is, I believe every one of our listeners needs to have a platform of authority. And let me describe both platform and authority really quickly. And then we'll go into what kind of impact could happen if you don't have that. A platform is anything that you own where you are on the riser. You are on stage in a way. So, for example, the Advanced Selling Podcast is a platform of authority for Bryan and I. He's got his own podcast in addition. I've got mine. So we host, we're guests on other people. So the podcast platform is a place of authority for us. You may not like our authority, but it is a place where people listen and they gather information. So a platform could be a podcast, could be a YouTube channel, could be a speech that you give once a week or once a month or once a quarter. It could be a panel discussion that you orchestrate. It could be a dinner that you host for your clients, once every 6 months at your local steakhouse. That's platform. Authority is where you are bringing value. You are bringing value to an audience, and because of you bringing value, they see you as an authority figure. You don't have to be the world's best at anything. You stand a little bit above the crowd of people in terms of your authority and your stature. So that's the essence of the program here on August 1st and what we're going to talk about today. Do you have any comments on that?
First of all, I love the way it's phrased up so neat and tidy. It's a platform of authority. So I get these definitions. Now I start to think, what do I have that might be a platform of authority? If I don't have one, what do I have? I think if you're listening to this show, there's a high likelihood that you already have one platform of authority in your world. You're probably on LinkedIn. Uh-huh. LinkedIn is a platform of authority, or can be for you if you think of it that way. If you think of it as like, well, I got to join LinkedIn because everybody else does, or because Bill and Bryan said do, you're not thinking about it the right way. So I think part of this is to say, it sounds silly. If you've got a Facebook page and it's all personal, like, well, personal, that could be a platform of authority. You just don't know. And then I want to pull out, because I know you said it quickly, but I really want to point out too, platform doesn't mean a technology. It can mean if you rewind what Bill said it could be a meetup that you host once a quarter or once a month, live breakfast. Could be a business dinner where you invite prospective clients to interact with existing clients. So a platform doesn't have to be a technology, because a lot of people resist that. Like, well, I don't like people knowing my business, but so real important here that.
Yeah.
I think that's really, really important. And I would say then last thing, then we'll get into the detail of it. You can have, and I would argue should have, multiple platforms of authority. These can all work together. It doesn't have to be just one.
Yeah, that's right. So I wrote an article on LinkedIn the other day, which you're right. If you're creating content on LinkedIn, it is a platform. If you're just harvesting names or connecting with people, it's not that it's not a platform like we're talking about here.
No.
So I wrote an article about the new breed of sales professional, the person who is going to clean up and dominate is not the person that knows how to handle stalls and objections better than everybody else. It's the person who is willing to do this, what we're talking about here today, build a platform or multiple platforms, I like that, of authority so that they can get up on stage. And again, the stage doesn't have to be a big stage. It could be like you're 12 inches off the ground, metaphorically. You don't have to be, so the idea here is that you are on stage and you're delivering value. And that's the future of the sales professional today. Somebody who is fearless and confident enough that they can understand what they have, frame their value, and go out and deliver it to not the masses, but deliver it to the audience that matters. The audience that cares.
And I think, so let's talk about, because there's a place where I think people resist this, that whole riser concept. Which I get. People are like, you need a rise because it elevates me above. Some people are not comfortable with it. Some people, let's go both sides of this concept. Some people do not like that. I don't want to be the center of attention. I don't need to be the front of the room guy. I'm like you don't need to change who you are to be front of the room. People think you need, or to be authority. You just have to have something to share. So there's no,
something to say.
Right? That's it. Yeah. And what your something to share could be your two guys on the call, on the insider call, Matt and who's the other guy? I forgot his name.
Lou.
Matt and Lou. Mm-hmm. Matt and Lou were both on the pedestal. They were both on the riser.
Yeah, that's right.
It's not their program. They pay to be there. And for that moment, Lou was on the riser. Matt was on the riser because someone else is sitting there listening that didn't chime in and go, I'm going to do that too. They just didn't say it.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
So if you don't get ahead of it's not about being like in charge of the room or like, it's not that. And
maybe
then
my riser example is not a good one because it does foster some kind of, that's not me. And because even though I can say it's a metaphor, you didn't hear that part.
No.
Riser.
But
as a microphone. I mean, a platform could be a microphone.
I look at Bill and I talk about intention all the time. If you have good intention, think about you when you go into like a store and the lines are super crowded, and some guy checking out, says, "Hey, my buddy went to the other end. I guess the lines are way shorter down there." I'm like, "Thanks, dude." That guy is sharing valuable information with me. He's the authority because he was in the store 30 minutes before me. He's not a pro. He didn't get paid for that. But I was like, "Thanks, dude. Appreciate that."
But he was willing to speak up.
Yes.
And to say something helpful to you. And
that's it.
Yes, the willingness to do that probably matters more than the riser or the microphone.
That's great. And then I will say to the other side, for there are some of us who are susceptible to this, it also doesn't make you good or better than anyone else if you come out. Don't get the ego thing going. I'm seeing this, the whole I have a sidebar, but huge pet peeve with the whole LinkedIn creator's job. Like it's a job, and the LinkedIn algorithm is punishing the creators right now, and they're freaking out. They're losing their stuff. Like, my posts aren't getting seen. My posts are LinkedIn. It's your fault. I'm like, no, you picked a business model that's not a very good business model. Mm-hmm. Being a creator on its own is not a good business model. And so it's not about that or ego. And you don't need 1,000 people. You need 4.
No.
Share an idea with. So
no, that's right. And I complain a lot about LinkedIn. So you're probably talking about me.
I was not talking about you. No, not at all.
Because
Yes.
So, okay, LinkedIn can do what they want. I mean,
absolutely.
I'm just along for the ride. And if I don't like the ride, I can hitch another ride.
That's it.
Hitch a ride, hitching a ride. Okay. So let's talk about one thing here that you can do to start down this journey of building your platform of authority. And we've talked about a lot of these things. I've got 5 I'm going to share on August 1st in the Insider program. But I think it's important that we look at authority as attracting opportunity. Authority attracts. Authority does not repel. If you're doing authority, meaning you're giving something that is useful to your audience and people are running from you, then maybe it's how you're doing it, or maybe the content is scary for them. But most of the time, that's not the case. So what I want you to think about is, what can you share with an audience on LinkedIn, or let's just say LinkedIn, since almost everybody's there. Yep. What can you share about your business that would put you in a position of authority? Something like, here's what I observe. Anytime you're able to observe your industry or observe your client base, we've got a lot of dental people who call on dental practices. Maybe you've observed something in the last 6 months that would be useful for dental practices to know. Maybe there's been a big surge in cavities or whatever that is. So one way to attract opportunity is to be the authority. And if you can't get there, all I ask you to do is just say, what do you notice about your marketplace? What can you observe? What's a trend that maybe people are starting to talk about, but nobody's talking about? Nobody sees it the way you see it because of the role you play in your market. You're out in the field doing things, talking to people. It's not a marketing person sitting on the 5th floor. It's you. And so you've got to figure out a way to make those observations.
That's brilliant. It's so true. And people just don't do it. I mean, I was just thinking, and I love, so here would be my, and I won't be there, but I'll throw my one in. I would ask anyone listening to this, so you get the concept of platform of authority. And then the next thing is the easiest, smallest move you can make that's real and tactical. So an example would be, right after listening to this episode, I would tell you as an idea to start a notes file on your phone. So take your phone out right now. If you're driving, don't do it. And put observations in there. Yeah. And just write the word observations in your note. Now you have a place to put the observations that Bill just mentioned. Now it's there. Like, oh, that's an observation. Now it starts to populate itself. And then you'll create a habit of noticing things. Yeah. And then you have this whole list of notes. You're like, dang, I could talk about all these things. Yeah. But people don't do that. They go, oh, that's a good idea. And they don't do anything. Like, take your phone out, go to the notes section, type in observations to share, observations.
That's right.
Now there's a place. So easiest, smallest little action you can take towards the concept, I think, is really good here.
In the last 15 minutes of the Insider on August 1st, we're going to do a plan, an action plan, because not everything that we're sharing is going to be useful. I mean, I'll share 10 or 12 ideas, not all, but 2 or 3 will be. You've got to pick the 2 or 3 that's right for you, and then create an action plan so that it doesn't just become an exercise in, okay, I spent an hour and 15 minutes. It was good. Bill was good. That was good. Everything was good, but I'm not doing anything with it. That's inconceivable to me. I don't want you to do that.
No.
The growth, I mean, we've got a lady, I think her video is on our website. She's an insider, Jody, and she is at 100% of quota, 99% of quota as of June 1st for the year, for the fiscal.
For the year. Oh, dang. So she almost made her year halfway
almost
through.
Made it halfway through. Yeah. And it's because she goes to the Insider. She listens to the podcast. Right. She's a student. She's a delightful student.
Yes.
So anyway,
and she's an implementer too.
She is.
There's one thing to learn about something. It's another thing to implement it. And she's both. You'd be both. Right. It's a great program.
So go to advancedsellingpodcast.com/insider. Yes, there is a fee. It's $97 a month for that training. But we wanted to give you a much better sense of what we're going to be doing on August 1st. And I really hope you can join us. I'm going to be promoting this on LinkedIn, but and also in the emails. But go to advancedsellingpodcast.com/insider. You'll be able to sign up there.
Love it.
All right. Good job today. Thanks for allowing me to talk about this. I think this whole platform of authority is good, and it probably requires more than just an hour and 15 minutes, but it'll be a good start.
It's a fantastic concept. I love it.
All right. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.